Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rebel Chum channel. Today we're going to take a look at the Solos Hold Kanan Jarrus lightsaber, dubbed as the Blind Knight. And let's take a look. So in my previous videos you have seen both the unboxing video and you have seen the installation video of these parts on this lightsaber. Now it was a little bit of a challenge with some parts, especially getting the mitter off and on. That was with this particular hilt a little bit difficult. I think it requires some sanding, so I'm not going to do it in this video. I will do it with the one that I will receive from So-Called Sabers. I will work with So-Called Sabers on making sure some of the items that I have found on this saber to be addressed, because I just have my personal preferences. But it's a really beautiful lightsaber. Let's start with the emitter. So it's really beautiful. So this is one shroud here, so a piece of shroud that slides over this emitter piece here. It's holding by a retention screw here, and then this little piece you have to glue on there. And then this is for the blade holder, 1-inch blade holder, and the blade socket is quite deep, if I'm not mistaken. It goes all the way here where the LED house, because the LED house is here, because you have to remove this screw here and remove a retention screw here. Then you can take off the emitter section, which I'm not going to do now because it was a really bitch to get on and off with my sample. But then the blade is in here, so you have a really deep blade socket of at least 3-4 inches. That's really cool. The Tsuba is also really amazing. The Tsuba is part of this part here, so where the blade holder is till here, this whole piece here, that is where also the Tsuba is one piece of. This is the second piece, this the shroud. And let's take a look at the Tsuba. Of course it has all kinds of nasty fingerprints of me on there now, because I've been playing with it, testing it out. And the Tsuba is really nice. It feels really nice in the hand. The Tsuba is also nice because it's a one piece. It's not threaded on or whatever. It's just one piece milled from this whole block of alloy, and it's it really transpires back in when you hold it. It really feels comfortable, and also it feels very solid. And then we go a little bit lower. Now I did not install them, but the little contact points pieces I didn't put in there, just because this is a display piece. I don't want to fully install it. But it comes with those two pieces in the back behind me, and you basically do to push those two pieces in there and then super glue them in. Now I have to be careful because they're super tiny. And then we have the control section. So this is the control box, 2 holes for tactile switches, so you can operate the primary and secondary buttons, 2 blinky lights. I did not install them yet. You can see that in my previous video. I did manage to install the shroud, 2 dabs of glue underneath. The shroud actually fits over the control box, so you don't have to first install the control box or first the shroud and then the control box. Now individually you can install them, so that's pretty nice. And then we have the metal struts on the bottom that you have to glue in. There are, I believe, 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, haha. And they feel nice. They provide nice grippy area, and it's an interesting feel. I like it. Then we have the pommel area. Really beautiful pommel cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4 pommel cubes. And then we have the pommel itself. I did not install the D-ring yet, because I just didn't want to go all the way there, because it's just a display piece, and it helps me to get rid of the box and basically have less stuff lying around. Now what you see inside here, it looks a little bit nasty. I clean it up in a moment, but that is me spraying some oil inside the hilt to get the 2 pieces of each other. So this piece here was stuck on there inside, because the margins are so tight. It's really required for me to use quite a bit of force with some oil to get it out, because these things are made with high precision, these lightsabers. And yeah, you need to be careful, and you also have to work with the high craftsmanship, and that means that sometimes tolerances are tight. And so this is the pommel. So later today I will put some Teflon smudges on the threading all around, so it's nice and smooth. Vented, as you can see, the vent holes are on the side, horizontal slits, and it's really cool. The pommel has a nice heft to it as well. And then the bottom section of the hilt, so you see nice threading there. It's all one piece hilt. This whole piece here, this whole piece of the hilt, this whole piece of the hilt is all one piece. So that's really nice, and the solid hilt. Do that on camera. So yeah, it's a really nice set. Now you need to be careful with all these pieces, especially when it's still in this raw format. You need to make sure that all the burrs are out there. Now I know Solo's hold is taking care of that as well, but it's always good to do it yourself as well as a double check, so nothing gets stuck or misthreaded or misaligned. It also comes with a whole bunch of little pins and screws that you're all gonna need. There's nothing spare in there, so if you lose something, you are a bit screwed, so be careful, don't lose this. So this is basically a really cool hilt. I'm really happy to be part of this run. I think Solo's hold definitely knocked it out of the park with this hilt, and I'm happy I got two. I do have a little bit of feedback, and people might not share this with me, and they might not agree with me, but I know this is a do-yourself lightsaber. Absolutely fully understand that, and there's just some minor things that I want to mention. I preferred if this little box here that you have to glue on there was part of this shroud. I wish this was just one piece. The fact that you have to glue it on there, and it's a little bit, it has a little bit of a challenge to line it up perfectly in the middle, and it's not that not greatly difficult, but I just wish it was just one piece. I just like a very solid hilt, and the least amount of glue parts, that would be best for me. That's just I have a personal thing with that. Same for these struts. If they could be milled out of one piece of this hilt, that would be fantastic. I know that's probably not possible because of the expenses, but yeah, that would have been nice. Same for this shroud. If this shroud just could be milled out from this piece here and then have this recessed, that would be nicer to me than having to glue it in. I personally, it's not that it's bad or it's not solid in this case. It's just in my mind, I'm a little bit anal at certain things. It's not perfect, and then I feel like it will not escape my mind, and that's something that I have personally. That's how it have nothing to do with Solo's hold or something, because this is an absolutely perfect lightsaber. It's just something that I personally would have loved seeing as solid pieces versus pieces that I have to glue on to the lightsaber. But yeah, a very nice lightsaber overall. The features also really cool. I've seen it several times now. People can easily pop it off. You just have to undo this screw here, thumb screw, and don't forget the retention screw on the bottom. If you don't do that, then you'll scratch up the hilt. With this one, it goes through this emitter piece, this button. This one is against it. This is like a blade retention screw basically. It's against the alloy. This one goes through the alloy, through the entire two pieces, this piece and this piece. And yeah, you cannot just take it off, so you have to always unscrew both ends and then you can take it off. I'm not planning to do that too often anyway, because when you put it back as well, you have to line up both holes, and I found like you need to be very perfect, especially with this one, because there's multiple places where it has two places where screw wire are. So on the top, in this section here, this wall section here, as you can see, there's screw wire, and then there's a gap here, and then here again there's screw wire. So you have to line it up exactly right, otherwise when you put this one in and it's not completely aligned, the threading here goes fine, but the threading here will not match up, and then you can mess up the threading on this piece. so you need to be very careful. So I feel it's not ideal. It's not ideal. It's cool. It's cool. It can do it. Well, I won't do it personally because I don't want to potentially screw up things, because I'm a train wreck with everything. So I will do it. Most likely, you don't have that issue. But for me, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, really nice lightsaber. It has a nice heft to it as well. When I get my so-called commission, I will do the weighting, etc., and then show all the details about sizing and whatnot. Because I wanted to weight it with the electronics in there, which will be a Prism 5.1 with RGB, so I can change flash and class and whatnot, and a Padawan chassis by Got 3D Design. So I went not for the crystal review because I love the chassis, but since I'm not going to remove the emitter too often, I also don't want to unscrew the pommel and then take out the whole emitter to see the crystal. It just didn't make too much sense of me. For a crystal review, I'd rather have a lightsaber that can snap open, like something like a Saber Force or something like that, or some of the Corbin sabers that have been outfitted with crystal reveals. Like you just snap it open, and then you can see like the crystal in a chamber, and then snap it back. That is my preferred way to display a crystal in a lightsaber. Nonetheless, this is a beautiful lightsaber, and I will be using it a lot. This not though. This one will be a display piece. So I hope hopefully this video was informative. Again, all the specs will come with the other video, the dimensions, the lengths, etc. But the other lightsaber, because I felt like it's better to show it up on the final product. But I also want to show up what you get if you buy a raw Solos Hold Blind Knight, the stuff you need to do it on it to get it to this stage, or even completely installed, and yeah, give you some ideas and feedback over the functionalities and the features that I've experienced so far till I actually get the fully installed product. And then I will revision, of course, my train of thoughts and my verdicts that I have now. Lovely saber, I highly recommend it. If you did not pre-order it, you can still get one. It's $50 more. Link is in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.